guys, some of you are going to be joining me for getting very intentional, and we are starting on Monday. So I just wanted to give you my way of doing this and give you a little more details. I did talk about it in my other video, but this might give you a little bit extra information that might help you. So if you don't know me, I am Jenny Cologne. I am a physician assistant for the last 20 years in family medicine and urgent care. I also run a business called On Fire Fit, and I love to help people get healthy in mind, body, and soul. And so because of that, one of the things that I am doing is resetting and getting back to basics. Sometimes we all get very overwhelmed or overloaded. We feel like there's so many different ways that we can go about life. A lot of times things get in the way. And with resetting and getting focused, sometimes it just helps us to get our mind wrapped around what we need to do each day and just make it real simple. We don't need for it to be so complicated, but just starting with some small behavior changes will make a big difference. And then you can kind of add to them later on. But for right now, I want us to really consider being intentional. And what do I mean by that? It means to me that we are thinking about how we're spending our time. And is it something that we really want to be spending our time on? And part of that is going to be relaxation. As you know, if you watched my other video, or I'll be talking about that soon, one of my areas is just spending time with my family and setting little date nights. And that is part of being intentional, in my opinion. So this isn't just about getting a bunch of work done. It's about learning what our priorities are and then how to go about making those things happen. So I'm going to show you kind of how I'm going to help myself stay on track, and I'll explain my goals and what I'm going to be doing to be intentional, but yours may be completely different, and I can give you some suggestions, but I would love to hear what they are so I can encourage you along the way. And maybe if you are on social media and you feel comfortable, I would love for you to hashtag whenever you post something. I don't care if it's a quote, or if it's a picture of your food, or a picture of your water because you're drinking more water, or if it's a picture of your Bible because you're spending time with God, or whatever. You know, you don't have to have pictures of yourself, but if you would put hashtag on fire intentional. I checked and nobody else had already used that one. So everybody that posts anything and uses that hashtag, we will quickly be able to find it. So if you were to put that hashtag in your search bar on Facebook or Instagram, you could click on that and you would see everybody and what they're doing. So rather than doing a closed group, this is going to be open, and maybe you'll help somebody else by showing them what you're doing to be intentional. And that's kind of the idea of keeping this as an open group. I would love for you to also tag me so that it will appear on my page, so On Fire Fit, and that way it would appear on my page so that I get to brag about you. So my three big fires, that I always call them my fires, because I feel that we put fuel on fires. We either put fuel on good, healthy fires that need to be growing, or we put fuel on fires that really need to just die off. And so for me, sometimes it's easier just to ignore those fires that need to die off rather than focusing so much on them. Just focus on putting your fuel on the right fires. So for me, the first thing that I'm going to do is intentional time with God, which I already do, and I really don't get through a day without doing that anyway. But one of my things that I would like to do is really stop being distracted first thing in the morning before I spend time with God, because it really sets my day up for a whole better feeling, and I just feel like I function better. So rather than checking my emails or texts or anything, I'm just straight away going. I sit in front of a red light because it's really good for healing, and I will be praying. Then I'll go do my devotion, and then I'll start my day and look at all that stuff. But that's one of my first fire that I'm really going to put my focus on for that. My second one is family, because I know that when my kids are up and grown and gone, I won't get that time back, and I don't want to miss out because I was too busy or distracted. So I'm going to set dates with my family. I had one last night with my husband already, and I set one with my daughter for next weekend. And then actually tonight, my husband and I are going to take our son out. So we're setting intentional time to do things like that together. And I really like the one-on-one because you get a lot more depth. My third area is my On Fire Fit area, and that includes a lot of things because I really believe that my business, I need to be writing right now. So I'm going to be setting aside 30 minutes minimum to try to write. And then I also want to take care of my own fit mindedness, which includes my exercise. So I'll be teaching my booty ballet class that I love and walking. And some days it'll be less, some days it'll be more. Some days I will go to the gym and sit on the stationary bicycle and maybe do some of my reading or whatever. But for me, I can't do a whole lot of strenuous stuff yet, so that's where I'm going to be focusing. But you got to start somewhere, and you can't keep making an excuse that it's going to happen one day, because otherwise, when you're not intentional, time gets away from you, and before you know it, a year's gone by and you're thinking, why didn't I just get started? So this is the time. We're ready to start. Let's do this. My other area is with food. So I started eating more bread, a little pasta, having a little more sugar. My stomach started not feeling very good. So I just decided, I need to get back to a lot more water and vegetables and healthy proteins, lots of fish, lean meats, and fruit, and then my healthy fats. I love like avocado and guacamole. Well, I don't love avocado, but I love it as a guacamole, so that's how I have it. And my healthy nut butters that I'm able to have, things like that. So I'm going to be focusing on those areas. But one of the tools that I'm using, okay, I'll show you really quick what I did. I made a notebook. This is all going to be backwards for you. I made a little notebook so I could keep this. And I have a little setting that is a dream of mine right here. And next to it, I found this quote. It actually happens to go with the coloring on the picture, but it says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." And I know you've probably heard that before, Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So to me, this is my habits journal. And what I do is I make little charts, and you may not work this way, or in your head you might not think this way, but I have run across a lot of people that do really well with sticker charts and check mark lists and things where you can kind of track your progress. And so this is called a weekly rhythm register. Darren Hardy has a whole book that's fantastic, and this is also in his book. I will try to add the link somewhere on my page so that you can print this out if you'd like. But on this weekly rhythm register, you write the thing that your behavior, the action that you're going to be taking, and then it gives you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can just check it off each day that you do it. And then but in the beginning of the week, what I do is here at the end, I know it's backwards for you, it says achieved, goal, and net. So my goal might be to spend time with God every morning, undistracted, 7 days a week. So I'll put a 7 here. And then after I get through the whole week, I'll put how many days did I actually achieve and what was the net? Did I reach that goal? My family time, maybe it's only 1 day every 2 weeks. So my goal, I might only put 1 there. And so each family member would get a special date night or something. And so that would only be once a week. And so I would put a 1 here. So once I finally do that, then I achieved 1, and my net, of course, would be I achieved everything I set out to do. Same thing with, like, if you're just going to try to add more water, say drink 8 ounce glasses of water a day. And so each day that you do, it just helps you to really cemented into your mind more than anything, so that you look back on your week and you say, okay, what was it that held me back? Why wasn't I able to meet that goal? Or what is it did I not plan? For instance, with the water, if I don't already refill my bottles over, I forget how many I've had. So I'll usually start my whole day with a bunch of water bottles all filled up, so that I don't have to keep track. I just know that when I'm done with those, that I met my requirement, that type of thing. So if you are trying to eat healthier, have you planned your meals for the week? Have you done some prep work so that you're not at the last minute trying to figure out what to eat and you're picking junk food up? That type of thing. So it really helps if you put it in writing, because once you get into your busyness and you're not in this real fired up mode, it's kind of easy to forget what you were starting off to do. So to me, that really helps. So you can let me know if that makes sense, if that's something that you would like to do. But I would love to see your progress in that area as well. So we will be starting Monday. I would love to have you a part of this, so make sure you hashtag, send me a private message to let me know what exactly you are going to be doing. And you could also send me an email on firefit@gmail.com, and I look forward to seeing you and being a part of this together. I don't really have an end date for it right now. I am in the planning stages of some groups for the fall, but for right now, we're just going to get started with this and go with it. So, okay, I will see you soon on social media, email, however you are able to reach me. Okay, see you soon.